Fun English, where we try to do English right. And this week we're gonna do a pretty interesting topic, which will be about the untold truths of being a teenager. All right. So this is a class which I use to try to build on people using their expressing themselves and speaking about their emotions as it relates to this topic. Things that they thought they would encounter being a teenager, things they thought they would get being a teenager. And I think that this can be a pretty interesting topic, especially when you have an English class of teenagers between the age of, say, 13 to 16, in that age where you're kind of finding yourself. So I really like this topic with my classes. So I want to thank everyone who has been listening. I was in one of my classes earlier this week, and one of my students said, "Oh, I see that you've been putting up your classes on YouTube." So it was really nice to see and hear that people are seeing it, and also that some of them are also enjoying them. So uh, let's get on to what we're gonna do today. So as I usually do, this topic is going to have vocabulary, but this time I have vocabulary with the meanings, reading, and then conversation questions. And we would have a little comprehension questions sometimes in our readings, right? So the beautiful thing about having comprehension questions is that it helps me as a teacher understand if my students have understand everything they have read. So this is why I would usually use those as well. So we have the speaking part down here, then we have comprehension, and then we will have our reading. And first thing we will normally cover would be the vocabularies, right? Vocabulary with meanings. So let's go through this here now, and let's get on with this topic. So first, let's go through these words here. Some of them may be new for people, some of them people may know already. First word I have is overwhelming. Overwhelming, very intense or difficult to deal with. So, overwhelming, so it's like, oh, I am so stressed. But instead of saying stress all the time, I am overwhelmed with a lot of things that I have to do. This is what that word means. So it's like another word saying stress, but a more advanced word, right? Shift, shift meaning to change from one state or position to another. So friendships often shift during teenage years, right? So when we look at our friends that we have when we're younger versus when we are teenagers, or we will realize that our friends shift or change due to our things that we like, things that we believe, things that we're doing. This is where our friendships will shift. All right, next one, pressure. Pressure. A feeling of being pushed to do something, often by others or yourself. Now, something that we experience a lot when we are teenagers is something called peer pressure. And what peer pressure means, a peer basically is usually someone that's on your level, or a peer can also be someone that is a friend, right? Peer. And so, peer pressure, meaning a friend or someone on your level pressuring you or pushing you to do something, all right? So, that is what that means. Peer pressure, someone that is pushing you to do something, a friend that's pushing you to do something. Sometimes you know it's something that is not good, but we do it anyway just so we do not get pressured or just to be cool with everything that is happening around us. So, there is a lot of pressure to do well in exams. All right, so there's that one. Perfection, the state of being perfect without mistakes. So, okay, I'm doing things and I'm not making any mistakes. So, you don't need to aim for perfection, sorry. You just do your best. You don't need to aim for perfection, just do your best. Self discovery. Self discovery. The process of learning about yourself. Teenage years are important for self discovery. Yes, so this is when we start thinking about what we want to do with our life. If I am this, if I'm that, this is the time that, and we also experiment. Experimenting meaning that we will try new things and do new things. See if this is a community that I feel a part of, or if this is something that I should be doing. Right. Next is unique. Unique being the only one of its kind, special or different. Everyone has something unique about them, right? Unique. So everyone is unique. There's not another person on this world that maybe looks like you or is like you, right? So unique. Next one, empowering. Empowering, giving someone confidence or control over their life. Learning new skills can be empowering. Independence. This is a word that we love so much, especially in teenage years. I want to feel independent. I want to be independent. So, independence, the freedom to make your own choices and decisions. Becoming independent is a big part of growing up. Right? So, we have we have independent, empowering, unique, self-discovery, perfection, shift, pressure, almost missed that one, pressure, and overwhelming. So let's go on to the reading. So, reading exercise, the untold truths of being a teenager. Life feels like a roller coaster. Being a teenager often feels like riding a roller coaster. One moment you're on top of the world laughing with friends, the next you're frustrated or sad without knowing why. This is normal because your emotions are changing as quickly as your body is growing. Learning to understand and express your feelings can make this time less overwhelming. Friendships change. Teenage years are the time when friendships often shift. You might grow apart from childhood friends or make new connections with people who share your interests. These these changes can feel confusing and even hurtful, but they are a natural part of growing up. Remember, the most important friendships are the ones that bring out the best in you. Pressure to succeed. Many teenagers feel pressure to do well in school, sports, and other activities. You might feel like everyone expects you to succeed all the time, but it's okay to make mistakes. Mistakes are how we learn and grow. Instead of focusing on perfection, try to do your best and ask for help when you need it. Discovering who you are. Teenage years are also the time for self-discovery. You might explore new hobbies, styles, or ideas as you figure out what makes you unique. This can be exciting but also scary because it's hard to know if you others will accept the real you. Trust yourself and remember that it's okay to be different. Learning independence. Being a teenager means gaining more independence, like making your own decisions or managing responsibilities. This freedom can feel empowering but also comes with challenges. Sometimes you'll make mistakes just like I did just now. Sometimes you'll make mistakes and that's okay. It's all part of learning how to become an adult. All right, so this is the reading segment that we would do in class. So, guys, if you're enjoying it so far up to this point, please like, subscribe, share this with your friends, and let's get back to what we're doing here. So, firstly, let's go look at the first paragraph, and we have some words here. We have frustrated, frustrated, and overwhelming. And I put this one here because I want to actually explain this one. So less overwhelming, frustrated. So one moment you're on top of the world laughing with friends, the next you're frustrated or sad without knowing why. Frustrated means like you're angry, you don't know why something is happening. There's a situation where you cannot control, and something is, as we would say, bugging you. It's irritating you. It has you confused, and it's like how do I work this out? So it's frustrating you, and that's what it means there. Next, less overwhelming. So, learning to understand and express your feelings can make time less overwhelming. So, as I said before, the word overwhelming means stress. So, let's say if we say less, so it can make you feel less stressed. So, right? So, that is what that would mean there. Less stressed. So, apart. Teenage years are a time when friendships often shift. You might grow apart. So, apart means you may grow in different directions. So, something is together, but then if you pull it apart, it means that one side goes this direction, next side goes that direction. So now it is in two places or two different things instead of together. So this is what that means by growing apart. So you might grow apart from childhood friends or make new connections with people who share your interests. So connections meaning that you are coming together now with a new person. So you're coming together. So connections, connecting can be the opposite of apart. Right? So you're making connections with someone and you're losing connections with someone when you go apart. So you lose connection and you're gaining or you're making new connections with people. Let's see. Next we have expects. So you might feel like everyone expects you to succeed at all. Sorry, succeed all the time. Expects. It's like you people think that I'm the best. I should be able to do everything. It's like they have this idea about you, right? So because they have this the idea about you, it is like you do this. You have to do this. You're this person. So you have to do this, right? So it's like if your mom and dad say your mom and dad are a doctor, your parents are a doctor, and you're growing up as a child, so you're the child of two doctors. Oh, spelling it wrong. Say you're the child, and your mom and dad are doctors. So your parents are doctors, and you're a child. I bet people will expect you to be a doctor as well. So you may get, okay, your parents are doctors. Do you want to be a doctor as well? right? So it's like people sometimes expect you to be a doctor because your parents are doctors as well, right? So that's just a small example of that, right? Now, discovering who you are, this is something that we all do as teenagers. So you might explore. So explore is like try in this case, see. Last time we did with traveling, explore is means to like see new things, but explore here can also mean try new things. Right? So you might explore new hobbies, styles, or ideas as you figure out can mean as you try to find out. So try to find out what makes you unique, or try to find out who you are. That's basically what it means. So figure it out. It's like you try to find out. You try to find out. Try to find out what makes you unique. You try to figure out what makes you unique. You try to find out who you are, right? In this case, as being a teenager means gaining more independence. Being a teenager means gaining more independence. So let's look at it as more, you are getting more independence. So, for example, your parents don't check after you as much as they did before. You get to make decisions that you want to make, and then you learn what it is to become an adult. And as an adult, if you start making decisions, then they come with something called consequences, right? These are things that are what happens when you make an action. They can either be good or they can either be bad. It's the end result of what you have done before, basically. All right. So next one we have is gaining. In this case, is that you're getting more. You're getting more. So you're getting more independence, managing responsibilities, like making your own decisions or managing responsibilities. So basically, managing, you are in control. You are in control. You are in control of your responsibilities. So you need to now say, okay, I'm going to do this at this time. I'm going to do that as a teenager. I want to hang out with my friends. I need to tidy my room. I need to go and do my chores that you may have in your house. I may need to do certain things. I have to go to school. And managing your responsibilities will be things like creating a schedule of how I will do these things. So now I'm in control of what I do and when I do certain things, right? So that is what it will mean right there, right? So let's go down to paragraph one in our conversation. I'm just going to go through a couple things right now, not too much, but just a few questions as we would normally do. And I would love that I can have this conversation with you guys as someday. So let's start with first one. Feels like a roller coaster. So we're talking about the first paragraph here. Life feels like a roller coaster. Being a teenager often feels like riding a roller coaster. One moment you're on top of the world, laughing with friends. The next, you're frustrated and sad without knowing why. It is normal because your emotions are changing as quickly as your body is growing. Learning to understand and express your feelings can make this less overwhelming. So, how do you feel when you're very happy? What makes you feel frustrated? And as a teenager, you may say, stupid people. How we all understand, we all agree. When people do things that are very dumb, I understand, I know. It doesn't matter if you're a teenager or not, even when you're adult, it still frustrates you. All right. So let's go down now to another one. So pressure to succeed. So it says, who helps you? So this one here, who helps you when you feel stressed? When I was a teenager, I would say my mom used to usually help me when I felt stress. And what I found she would do is try to make me think through certain things when I felt stress. And by thinking through these things, I started to become a little bit less overwhelmed or stressed, overwhelmed, because then I can start putting acting on certain things that had me stressed or understanding sometimes you can't do anything about it. Sometimes you cannot do anything about it. Or if you can't do something about it, you need to learn how to you need to learn certain behaviors of how to handle certain situation, or you are gaining the knowledge of how to handle situations. Right? So let's see. Do your parents or teachers expect a lot from you? In some cases, it feels like our teachers expect more from us because sometimes our parents may give us too much independence, so they are not checking after us like before. So the people that might be harder on us until they see our report would be maybe our teachers, right? So yeah, there we go. Now let's see. Learning independence. Uh, do you like being independent? Independent, sorry. So do you like being independent? I bet most of you guys would say as teenagers, yes, you love being independent. And why or why not? Because I get to make my own decisions. I get to come home late. I get to do whatever I want. And these are things that we like when it comes to independence. So this will be basically a general setup of what we've done in class. So let's go over these things again a little bit here when it comes to the vocabulary. We first have the word overwhelming, which means basically stressed. So this means basically stressed. All right, let's say it properly. Stressed. We have shift, to change from one state or position. So basically to change. Pressure, being pushed to do something, a feeling of being pushed, right? And normally when we're teenagers, the people that make pushes are our peers, and peer usually means friend. So our peer or friend. Perfection, state of being perfect without mistakes. Good luck with that. Let's see. I do not know anyone that is perfect. We try to be, but I don't know anyone that's perfect. We can try to practice things to the point where we become perfect, but to just start something and be perfect on it by itself, good luck. And those that are able to do it, I salute you. I salute you on that one. Self discovery, the process of learning about yourself, unique, being the only one of its kind, special or different, being special or different. As teenagers, I find that we try to fit in. Some of us do try to fit in, be a part of the group, but it is nice to also be different, be special. It's nice to stand out. Empowering, giving someone confidence or control over their life. And the last word here, independence, freedom to make your own choices and decisions. So we have connections, something basically coming together, apart, something that is going in different directions, not together anymore. Figure out, to try to find out, gaining, getting more. So I'm gaining more information, meaning I'm getting more information or gaining more independence. Managing, I'm in control of my responsibilities. All right. So this is a topic that I've done in my previous classes, which I think would help with you that are learning English. Here is the topic about the untold truths of being a teenager. Now, if you guys enjoy this and you really like what you heard here, if I help you with developing your vocabulary, you can continue to watch the videos, as I will be trying to bring at least one of these videos every week where I will be doing more of this. Now, this is part one of a topic. I have being a teenager, I have the untold truths of being a teenager, and then the next topic I have is the untold truths of being an adult. Now, that is something that people have not prepared us properly for. So, that will be the next topic I'm going to go through. But so far, if you have been liking what we're doing here, please drop a like. You guys can subscribe to what we're doing. If you can, put the comments. I have to sort that out because I was told last week that you're not able to comment on my post. So I'm going to see if I can change that. And guys, thank you for listening today. All right, bye. And from me here at Stefan English, I'm going to continue doing this here with you guys because at Stefan English, we try to do English right.